So in this video, I'm going to discuss some more of the deadly sins that beginner players make in the game of Petanque. These are really tiny little things that can make a huge difference to your game, not only for the enjoyment of the game, but also for the skill set that you develop as you play the game more, and your progression from the game, from just being a beginner, going right the way through to maybe winning your first competition. So the very first thing is the ability to throw the jack. Most people think, yeah, just chuck it up. As long as it's between 6 meters and 10 meters, you're good as gold. That's not necessarily the case. Throwing the jack on its own is a skill. It needs practice. You need to put work into it. It's the most boring drill that you can think of. You're not throwing any ball, there's no big noise, there's no accolades, there's no cheering. But if you can throw a jack well, you can control games, you can control ends. For example, if we look at this huge big terrain and you're thinking, well, where am I going to throw the jack? If we have a look up here at that tree, if you can throw the jack close to that tree and that tree is live, that could be very good because your ball could go here in front of the tree and there's not many people going to shoot a ball there with a tree right behind it. That is an example of a tactical kosh throw. Another example is, let's say you're playing against a left-handed player and you've noticed it early on and you think, okay, well, they always throw their ball with a side spin, which causes it to go this way. If they're left-handed, it would be that way. Now, what that means is that if you can put the jack near a string or an end area just over here, that can work highly in your advantage. Now, throwing the jack is a skill. It's also a very good way, in a tiny way, to test the terrain out, because you can have a situation here. Obviously we have these balls, they've already been played, but if we are trying to throw a particular jack into, say, that area, and I'm leaving the balls there deliberately because what I'm going to try and do is just pitch the jack so that it lands about halfway and runs through to those balls, which is about perfect. Now that tells me, if I'm reading the terrain, and this is the next thing that most new players don't do, they don't read the terrain. They just stand up here if it's their turn to play. This is tip number 2 or sin number 2. And if it's not their turn to play, they just stand behind. They're looking around, what's going on? Hello, Jimmy. Hey, Mary. And they're not really concentrating at all. Now, if you're clever and you want to learn about the game and you want to learn why other players are doing really well, a very good tip is to stand up here, near where the cochonnet is, where the jack is, looking back at the player. What are they doing? How are they playing their ball? Now, you can learn an awful lot from how other people play their ball, but you can't really do it if you're standing behind at the back, not really concentrating on exactly what's happening, where people are landing, whether they're putting spin on the ball, whether they're not, what the actual situation is. So we've covered 2 individual parts there. The very first one, the ability to throw the jack. The second one, where you stand on the terrain and whether you're observing ball on the terrain. Now, number 3, it's a very simple thing. Most people don't warm up. That's not good. This is a sport the same as any sport. In any sport in the world, people are warming up. They're raising their heart rate. They're running around a little bit, getting a bit warm, getting the muscles ready. Why is Petanque any different? Now, if you want to play Petanque, and if you're in your later years, such as myself, I'm 57, I want to be playing this game until I'm 87, 97. The only way I can do that is if I do specific exercises, whether it is that I'm rolling around. Let me move back here a little bit. Rolling around on my knees, keep my knees a little bit supple. Whether I'm doing hip circles, whatever the case may be, shoulder rotations. These are little things that an awful lot of people don't do. One of my favorites, this is a brand new one. Got this one from a rock climbing expert. Pop your hands here as if you're praying. You will feel a tension here. This is very good. What this is doing, this is stressing and straining your particular tendons and your muscles and your fascia between your fingers. Now, if you can move your fingers back and forth like this, that is also stressing it. It's stressing it down here and then down here. That's increasing the ability for your wrists and your fingers to be supple. Now, the next one, just bring your hands down. If I'm standing here, you can see, bringing your hands down and then bring them back. Bring them back towards you. Try and keep your arms exactly vertical the whole time. What this does is, this is a great warm-up, incredible warm-up for the wrist. Wrist rotations, another great warm-up. Pushing the fingers back, pushing the wrists back. Again, it's just improving the suppleness of your hands. It's getting your body used to the fact that you're going to be playing. I used to suffer a lot with my neck, so I do a lot of neck rolls. I do a lot of shoulder rotations. I still suffer a lot with lower back. Basically, clenched buttocks. So I'm trying to relax those all of the time. And the only way you can do that, lots of different yoga poses. So this is another little tip for you, for beginner players, for some of the sins that people just do not do, and a couple of tips as to why you should do them. So let's see if there's number 4 here in this annal of terrible things to do. This is one of my pet hates. Let's say you've got this particular situation. You're in the circle. You've got 2 boules left. You throw your first ball and it doesn't really do what you want. Now, what the majority of beginner players will do is they will go straight into their second shot, trying to improve it. But they're not actually coming up and saying, okay, let's take a look at the terrain. Why did that ball not do what I wanted it to do? They're not actively questioning. Now, you get 1 minute to play your next ball from the time that the previous ball has been played. So why would you not take that time? You're not wasting anyone's time. You're taking your allocated time. So you can actually come up and you can say, well, okay, it kicked off to the right. There was a big nasty leaf. I don't like that leaf. Didn't really work very well. I'm just going to fill in my landing spot. So many players do not do that. They just straight in again, second ball, they throw it again, and again it either goes well or it doesn't go well, but they're not learning anything from the actual execution of the shot. So number 4 there, and my pet hate, and my a biggest sin is not learning, not questioning, not looking at things, not observing why shots are working and why they're not working. And that leads on to number 5. Giving up. They're looking at the score. I'm 12-0 down. That's it. There's no point. Throw my toys out of the pram. They're so much better than me. I'll never win this game. It's a stupid game anyway. It's just marbles for grown-ups. And I don't know. I've put loads of practice in and I've done all of these things and blah, 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 blah. And it's raining and it's sunny and it's too hot and it's too cold and I didn't get a good night's sleep and that lunch was a bit heavy and... The big old book of excuses for why people give up in a game. It's never over till someone hits 13. Never. The amount of times in games I've been 12-0 down and I'm quietly going up to the opposition and going, I'm not dead. Pas mort, I am not dead. You have to beat me. You have to get to 13 before I do. And I'm going to do everything in my power to fight every single ball until either I get across the line or you deserve to win. Now, there's going to be luck in games and there's going to be things that don't go your way and there's jacks that move and there's all sorts of things. But if you're giving up in your head, if you're thinking, I cannot do this, this team is too good, you're screwed. What's the point in even stepping onto the terrain if you're just going to throw it all away? You have to have a determination. You have to have a will to win. You have to have a desire to achieve the status of getting to 13 first. Doesn't mean that you're world champion. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a game. But the desire to win has to be there. Now, you can play and just have fun. You can play and just be social. And all of that is just as good as having this desire to win. However, you don't want to have your will to win take over so much that you'll do anything to win, because then that's a completely different thing. Desire to win is imperative in the game. Not giving up is imperative, but don't sacrifice it just for the sake of winning. So if you like this video, you're gonna love the next one.